Now, when you have these considerations, when you take these actions, do you consult with psychologists or sociologists or historians or people that try to put in perspective for you what the ramifications of each individual move would be?
I try to read as much as possible. I try to talk to as many people as possible, just get a completely different perspective. And
is there any internal disagreement about actions that you take?
Oh yeah, there's always debate. There's always debate, but I think my role is to ask questions and make sure what is our goal here? What are we trying to do?
And that evolves.
That evolves. Like, and is this over the long term going to be a net positive for all humans, all humanity? Like, how do we balance the considerations of how we serve everyone, and like how do we get down to something? How do we get down to a fundamental answer, an essential answer? And that to me is where the real truth is when you can get to something foundational. But I like having conversations with as many people from as many different fields as possible and getting the perspective on it. So I ask questions all the time. It's
interesting the way you're phrasing this too, that you are looking at this as a method to save or to help people, to serve people. Mm-hmm. You're looking at this as a way that you can benefit society. The society can benefit from your platform, can benefit from this ability to communicate. You're not just looking at it as a tech company that has to remain profitable. And that's one of the more interesting things about tech companies to me. I mean, there's been a lot of criticism, maybe justified in some ways, that tech companies all lean left. But what is interesting to me is that name another corporation that willingly, of its own choice, takes that into consideration, that they want to serve the world and serve culture in a beneficial way, regardless of profit.
Yeah.
But, I mean, because you're not really selling anything, right? You guys have a platform. Obviously, it's financially viable, but you're not selling things.
Well,
right?
I mean, we do our models based off people's attention.
Yeah.
And they're paying us with their attention. And that's extremely valuable and something that we need to really, really honor. But I agree with you. I mean, like, look at Tesla. I just listened to the recent earnings call, and one of the things that Elon said was, look, there are two reasons for Tesla. Number one is to advance, different sources of energy and more renewable sources of energy, because it's a fundamental and existential crisis that's facing all humanity. And number two is to advance autonomy, because it'll save lives and give people time back. And then you started talking about how to make that possible, and that's where our business comes in. How do we make that possible? And we have a great business. We need to improve a bunch of it, but it serves what we think are larger purposes, which is serving the public conversation. We want to see more global public conversations. We want our technology to be used to make the world feel a lot smaller, to help see what common problems we have before us, and ideally, how we can get people together to solve them faster and solve them better.
You also seem to be embracing this responsibility that you're helping to evolve culture, and this is part of the providing this method to communication rather. It's helping to evolve culture, and this is something that is really only applicable to tech companies in some strange way. And it's weird that so many of them share this. Like, I was personally a little weirded out when Google took out "Don't be evil." Like, that was a big part of their operating model.
Did they take that out?
Yes. Yes. Right? Make sure I don't want to get sued. I'm pretty sure they removed that from, what would you call that? Their operational directive? Like, what is...
It was in the code of conduct.
Code of conduct. And it's not there anymore, right? They removed it.
It says, yeah, there's an article that says they removed the clause.
And this
is kind of a weird thing to tell people not to be evil.
It's weirder to take it out once you've already said it. It's way weirder to say, fuck it, we were wrong.
There's another
Just go
way of
ahead.
saying that.
They changed it to do the right thing.
Yeah.
Oh, well, what does that mean? The fuck does do the right thing mean? Do the right thing so you can make more money? You know? Like, hey, we want to make money. We'll do the right thing. Let's make some more money.
Yeah, I mean, that's why this openness is so critical. I mean, that's why like the public to me the public conversation is so important. Is we can talk about stuff like that, and like there will be companies forming today that look at objectives and mandates like that and base their whole culture around it. And is that the right idea? I don't know. But if we're not talking about it, we won't be able to answer that question.